Bruchim haboim. Welcome everyone. We're about to begin Be'ezras Hashem together on Daf Yud Dalid Amud Beis, 4 lines from the top. Our Mishnah states during the 7 days that the Kohen Gadol is sequestered and he's put into Lishkas Parhedrin, he prepares for the Avodas Yom Kippurim, namely by sprinkling the dam every day for the Tamid Shel Shachar and Tamid Shel Ben Ha'arboim. He also is Maktir the Ketores, and he also, the Mishnah states, is Meitiv es Ha'neiros. The Gemara makes the following observation: Alma Ketores Bereisho v'Hoder Neiros. We see from the order of the Mishnah that he first is Maktir Ketores, and then afterwards he prepares the Neiros. Ask the Gemara, Ramino, Misha Zocha B'Dishun, Mizbeach HaPnimi, u'Misha Zocha B'Menoira, u'Misha Zocha B'Kteres. It states over here, in regards to those Kohanim who are going to be then privileged to do the Avodah, it states in the order as being then clearing out the ashes from the Mizbeach HaPnimi, that means from the Mizbeach of the Ketores, and then it states that he then cleans out and prepares the menorah, and then he's maktir the Ketores. So it's the opposite order that we have in our Mishnah. Omer Rav Huna says, Man Tana Tamid, who is this that authors the Mishnah and Tamid that we asked the contradiction from? Rabbi Shimon Ish Hamitzpahu. He is the author, and our Mishnah goes like the Chachamim. V'ho asked the Gemara, Ibcha Shamin Alei. Behold, we hear the opposite. Desnan, it says in the following Mishnah there in Tamid, Boloi lekeren mizrachi tzefonis, when the Kohen goes to sprinkle the blood of the carbon, so he treats the carbon as a carbon tamid. He goes to the northeastern corner of the Mizbeach, noisein mizracha tzefonis maravis. He then makes an application on that northeastern corner, droimis noisein marav v'droimo, and then he goes and walks around to the southern, which is the southwestern corner, and he makes another application, which is the applications of really a carbon oila, which means shtei matana shehein arba. Each matana, each application is going on the corner, whereby he does an application, and it goes on both directions, both sides, northeast, and then he walks around and gets both sides with one application on the southwest. V'tani alo, it's taught in this. Bryce is taught on this Mishnah, Rabbi Shimon Ish ha-mitzpah mishane betamid. He learns different. And he learns that this is different than the Korban Tamid's applications of being the classical Shtei Matana Shein Arba. Mizrachi Tzefoinis Noisim Mizrachi Tzefoina. He does the same applications as the Korban Tamid in regards to the northeastern. That means he goes to the northeastern corner and he makes an application that goes on both sides of the north and the east. However, when he walks down to the west corner of the Mizbeach, he walks around, Ma'arovis Dromis, Noisin Ma'arova. He first then makes an application on the Ma'arova, on the west wall of the Mizbeach. Noisin Droma, and then afterwards he makes another application on the south wall. So you see that he makes it different than the classical Korban Tamid, Korban Oila. Elo ma Rabbi Yochanan, rather Rabbi Yochanan says, Man Tana Seder Yoma, who is the one who teaches the order of Yoma, namely that which you're saying, our Mishnah, which says the order is first the being Maktir the Ketores, and then being Meitiv the Neiros. Rabbi Shimon Ish HaMitzpahu. This is Rabbi Shimon Ish HaMitzpah, and therefore it's the Rabbanan who argue on him in the Maseches Tamid. Ask the Gemara now, Varami Seder Yoma, Seder Yoma. Let us ask the contradiction between that which it states in the order in Yoma from another Mishnah in Yoma. This not, it states later on, Payis Hasheni, the second of the lots that are drawn by the Kohanim to do the Avodah. There are 4 different lots. The second one is Mishechet, who's going to then shecht the Korban Tamid, Mizorek, who's going to zorek the dam, Mi medashen Mizbeach HaPnimi, who's going to take out the ashes from the inner Mizbeach, Mimidashin is a menorah. Who's going to then clean the ashes from the menorah? Umimale evarim lekevesh. And who's going to then bring up the evarim to the middle of the kevesh, of the ramp of the mizbeach? Payis hashlishi. The next Mishnah goes on to say the third lots that are drawn. Chadoshim liktares bou v'hafisu. Those who are new, who haven't yet done the kitares, they are invited, those kohanim, to then take a part in the lots of then making the kitares. So we see that the order of the events is the second payis is the hatavas haneros, whereas the third payis deals with being makti the kitares. So that's a different order than we have in our Mishnah. Omar Abaye answers, Loi kasho. Kan ba'atavas shtei neiros, kan ba'atavas chamesh neiros. Here we're talking about shtei neiros and chamesh neiros. Namely, there was a hefsek, there was a break between the hatavas haneiros. They were first meitiv 5 neiros, and then in between they made a hefsek of the haktara, of the ketares, and then they went ahead and were meitiv the other 2 neiros. So that's what's going on over here. Our Mishnah that states the order is they were maktir, and then they were meitiv the neiros is talking about they were maktir, and then they were meitiv the last 2 of the neiros. That which it states over there later on in the Mishnah in regards to the lots, there it's talking about where the first 5 were being meitiv the neiros, and then it's talking about the maktir in the third of the payasin. Ask the Gemara, remember the miktaris mafsik lahu? Are you going to say it's the ktaris that is being mafsik between the 5 and the 2 of the neiros? That means we're meitiv the 5 neiros, then we do makti the haktaris, and then we're meitiv the other 2 neiros. Is that what's being said? V'ho Abaye mesader ma'arocha mishmei the Gemara. Abaye, he explained the order of the daily service of the mizbeach based on a tradition. Uvedam hatomid mafsik lahu, and it said what is mafsik between the 5 and the 2 neiros? That's the dam of the tomid. That means that the shchitas korban hatomid and the zrikas damoy. Omrei, they said, look, Hasha, it's not a difficulty. Hahi la abashol. That which you said, Abai explained, that's according to Abashol, who said the mafsik between the 5 and the 2 neiros is with the dam of the korban tomid. However, this that we explained, that the hafsaka was the makti of the ketares, that's according to the chachamim. The Tanya, like it says in the following brisa, lo yetiv es haneiros ve'achaka yaktir. Do not meitiv the neiros, meaning all of the neiros, and then be maktir. Elo yaktir ve'achar kach yetiv. Rather, you be maktir and then be meitiv the last 2 of the neiros. Abba Sholo mer meitiv achakach maktir. No, Abba Sholo says no. You first are meitiv all of the neiros, and then you are maktir, because meaning to say that in between that's which is masik the neiros, that there's the zrikas adam of the korban tomid. But in terms of the haktorah, that's done after all of the neiros have been already cleaned and prepared. Ask the Gemara, my time of the Abashol. What is his reasoning that says that the hefsek between the 5 and the 2 neiros is rikas domoy of the korban tamid? Dechsiv, he has a posuk. Ba boikir behetivoy as haneiros. V'chodak yektireno. It says every morning they will clean out and prepare the neiros, and then after it states yaktireno. So from here we learn kipshuto. He says Abashol, we first do the hatavas haneiros, and only afterwards do the haktara of the ktaris. Rabbanan might call Rachman. So what did the Rabbanan do with this pasuk that we just quoted? That seems to be kipshuto like Abashol on top of Tesvav and Aleph. Explains the Rabbanan, Bi'idan hatava tehei maktar kitaris. While we're doing the hatava, that's when we maktar the kitaris. That means, as we said, that there's first a hatava of 5 neiros, then we're makdir, and then we meitiv the other last neiros. Dilo teimahachi. If you don't say this, says the Rabbanan, then if you don't say this, dilo teimahachi, then bein ha'arboim, when it comes to the haktar of the bein ha'arboim, dichsiv v'halois haneros haronis haneros bein ha'arboim yaktireno. in regards to the Neiros in the Ben Arboim, it says also Yaktiren in that order. So Hochinami, then you would say the Bereisha Malik Neiros V'hoda Maktir Ketarish or Ben Arboim. If you're going to learn Kipshuto like Abba Shol, then it would have to be in that order too. It'd have to be that you first are Malik the Neiros. After you prepare them, you Malik them, and afterwards you go ahead and Maktir the Ketaris. The Chitema Hochinami, if you're going to say that's so, indeed, that is the order in the Ben Harboim, the Hatanya, behold, it says in the Brisa, quoting the Pasuk, Me'er Erev Ad Boiker, that from the evening until the morning, the Pasuk states that Aaron will, and his children will prepare the Neiros from Erev Ad Boiker by lighting them. Tein law, the Brisa says, Midasa Shitei Hadolekes Volechas Kol HaLayla, give enough fuel for these Neiros to burn from the evening until the morning. Right? That's one explanation. What does it mean from the evening till the morning? This is the only avoida, meaning the last of the avoidos, that is kosher to be done from the night until the morning. Namely, again, the lighting of the Neiros. That has to be the last thing. So therefore, if you're going to learn Kipshutoi in Ben Harboim, that's going to be a contradiction to the way this Bryce is explaining that it has to be the Neiros that are last. And since the Neiros have to be last, and the Ketaris has to be before the end of the Neiros, that therefore explains that in the morning it's also the same way, according to the Chachamim. So therefore, the Chachamim explain their position. Why does it then, what is then being stated by the Torah? While there still is the Hadlaka, then you're maktir the Ketaris. That means in between, as we explained before, there's 5 being done, then the maktir Ketaris, and then the last 2. And that's how it's done by Ben Harboim. Hachanami bi'idan hatovete dehei maktar Ketaris. So too, when it comes to the morning, also we do it just like that. We first then prepare the 5, and then we do maktir Ketaris, then we prepare the last 2, and burn those. Rabbi Shol will explain that that's not difficult, because when it comes to Ben Arboim, that's exceptional. Then we do it in the order that you're saying, as the Bryce explains, that the Neiros are at the end of the Ketaris. But when it comes to the morning, that is the Kipshutoi, as follows. Abba Shol Omoloch Shaini Hasom Dichsiv Oisoi. There it says in regards to Ben Harboim, the word oisoi, the Pasuk states, Yaroich oisoi Aaron Ubonov me'ervad boikim. That means that Aaron and his children, they will prepare the Neiros and light them from the night until the morning. So when it comes to Ben Harboim, that has to be the order. But when it comes to the morning, then you learn the Pasuk Kipshutoi, Ba boikim, behitiv es ha-Neiros, and then afterwards, Yaktireno.